Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while. Abu Dhabi Grand Slam is in the books, and I saw this on Instagram. Kind of interesting. Kropalik fixing his opponent's gi, but I mean, there's a little bit more to this, a little bit more context. So during this near-waza sequence, Kropalik injuring his opponent, and so he was unable to tie his own gi, and Kropalik, being the nice guy that he is, helping him tie his gi after destroying his arm on the ground. So yeah, just two other things before we get into the ippons. This here is just quite ridiculous. This rule, this head diving rule. I mean, Shrazdashvili gets Han Sokomake here for head diving. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm making a video on this. I think they should refine the rule a bit. I think there are head dives which are not okay. Like this one here. Personally, I think the rule should be, you know, if you head dive on the top of your head or behind your head, kind of like bridging on the back of your head like that, I think that should not be acceptable. But what Shrazdashvili did, there's no danger in that whatsoever. They need a bit of common sense in their decision making. Okay, so into the ippons. I'll split this up into three categories: lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight. So if you want to jump to the heavier weights for some reason, timestamps will be in the comments. But look at this beautiful counter to an Ochigari. Although you can't call this an Ochigaishi, even though Ochigaishi just means counter to an Ochigari. Here's another counter to an Ochigari, but this time going for the Kosoto Gake. And Gaisiro, I mean, he thought about taking two stabs at it, but gets countered. Brilliant counter. This one here, I'm not sure if I should call it a Taiotoshi or an Ogoshi. Hand is around the back, but the leg coming across. Interesting technique. And there is a Ukrainian fighter in this video somewhere. I've lost where he is, but he's got a love heart on his chest. Like they've taken pink tape or something and made a love heart and put it on his chest. It's quite interesting, but I'll make sure to point it out when he comes across the screen. Just a terrible mistake here by the Chinese judoka, going for a Tani Otoshi like that against a taller opponent. Oh, here he is, Mr. Love Heart. Take a look at the love heart on his chest. I swear there's another clip in here somewhere where you can see it more clearly, but is that allowed to have a love heart on your chest like that, even though it is just taping? Right, nice Uchimata Skashi coming up here. And I've been looking out for this, a different kind of Skashi in recent tournaments, but the Japanese, they kind of like to ride the Uchimata and, you know, just through their flexibility, counter it that way. I haven't seen non-Japanese judoka do that kind of Uchimata Skashi yet. Nice Ochigari, but I'm not sure about the love heart. I think the love heart's gotta go. This next one's interesting to me because it goes for the Ochi and then the Osoto mixing in the Haraigoshi, but you know, some people, they say your fakes, they should be legitimate attempts, and sometimes like this, I think it's great. You know, it's not a legitimate attempt, but it's just a fake into something else. Here's another great example, you know. The first attack, not 100% committed, but just setting up that second attack. Sadalashvili now, he had a great day, and I like his Ochigari. Good top grip, but also pushing the head down, so when someone's bent over like this, they can't really, you know, lift their leg up as much as if their posture was good, and so it makes the Ochigari very effective. Right, this one here, down a Wazari, and I mean, you got to give the judoka in white, you know, some credit going for it, but ended up walking onto a Kataguruma. This next one's a big Sode, and then I love when people switch to the belt grip. This is so hard to do. In the heat of the moment, that's really hard to do. There's not many people who do this. Deep grips now, and here's that Ochigari again. Heavy head pressure, pushing down on the head. And then once he's got that posture down, he just jumps in there. Here he is again going for that Ochigari, but this time doesn't have the head pressure, but instead he's got such close distance to his opponent. Those big hands around the back. This next one, pay attention to the right hand of white. Has no downwards pressure. Going for that Kochi Makikomi and then gets countered. You can see, I mean, the entry's good. I like the entry. I like the hook with the leg, but just not enough downwards pressure. And just a couple more from the lightweights. And if you're kind of wondering how I categorize this, Put 60, 66, 48, and 52 in the lightweights. 73, 81, 57, and 63 in the middleweights. And then 90, under 100, plus 100, 70, 78, and plus 78 in the heavyweights. Might be a bit of controversy. I think some people like 90 and 70 in the middleweights, but just in terms of ratios, I mean, that works out well for me. So this Korean, Mimi, I think she might end up being something great. She's got incredible techniques. She appears a couple of times in this video, but I mean, look at this. Look at this big Katsugi waza. Here's another one from her. They first said it was a wazari, but they went back and scored an ippon. But look at that. I mean, doesn't have the sleeve. Goes for the low lapel grip. Watch this. And then she's popping that elbow through and up, which is why it's not a morote seoinage. We call it a katsugi waza, but I mean, technically it is a morote seoinage. And look at this. I thought White was going over for an uranage, but I mean, just real good directional control by Chikaev. Look at this. Just the low head posture of White. The uranage was going to be hard, but he just turns him over. Really well done. Good control. This next one, I mean, I like this setup by White. A little kochi on the inside, kosoto on the outside, and then going for the osoto gari. Trevor Stevens has a little tutorial on it, but he got counted, he got picked up, and it's just unfortunate. I guess, I mean, the osoto, the entrance was a bit weak, and he just got picked up beautifully. There's that inside. I mean, it's essentially a kick, right? Kicking people like that for the kochi. That's why a lot of them wear knee pads, but change of direction there. I mean, I thought he was going to go right-sided, but he went left. First piece of newaza now. Look at that. A little foot sweep, doesn't get the score, but takes advantage of it. See it again. I mean, he just landed in the perfect position for the choke. This one here reminds me a little bit of Abe. I mean, that's very similar entry to Abe. That split hip, deep between the legs. What he does with his right hand too. That's a really nice morote seoinage. But I mean, sometimes you don't need a crazy setup. You just need to get a grip and go. Picture perfect ouchigari. I mean, the little step at the beginning gets his leg nice and close to the leg he wants to reap. But that was brilliant. Lightning quick. Left-sided seoinage. You can see he's a right-sided fighter, but gripping with the left. Gyakuichi, as they say. Bobanov does that. Nagayama does that. Low driving ouchigari now. I love these. These are really nice. Next up, Tatalashvili from the UAE. And obviously he's got a Georgian name, right? Are those kind of names only from Georgia? I'm not too sure, but competing out of the UAE. And I would like to know more about the UAE and their judo scene. If anyone knows, let me know. Or is he just competing under their country name? Not too sure. Stump obviously had a great day, taking gold, and look at this big piece of ashiwaza. I mean, it's almost borderline koshiwaza how he picked him up so high. Look at that. Blue. Oh, that's amazing. Watch it in slow-mo, guys. Watch the grip break. Gets that grip off his neck. And then jumps in for a seoi otoshi, I guess you have to call it. This is a nice kochigari here. Look at him just hop into position. I mean, watch this. You don't see this very often. This is a very unique entry. Hopping into it, that's really unique. This next one, I mean, I have no idea how White pulled this off. He's got a deep grip, but it looked like he was going to get picked up. And then it's just a huge koshiguruma. Puts the leg in there. And watch that inside leg. I mean, it goes off the floor here, but he just keeps it up, turns around. That was crazy. Quick little bow and arrow choke now. And he was on that so quickly. Awesome choke. Kochi. Ouchigari now, and I mean that grip, that close grip that he gets from over the back. It's all about this grip here. And the judoka from the Philippines, that was a bad move. You know, putting his hand over the back like that as well. This is probably my least favorite position in judo. Extreme right versus right. And this technique here, the sasai, is probably one of the high frequency techniques you see a lot in this extreme right versus right situation. But I hate this. I hate right versus right in this situation. It's just annoying. A lot of stalemates happen here. So this guy here, Akadov from Uzbekistan, is he the number 173 kg player? He's got really nice judo. Doesn't have the best record, obviously, but really nice judo. And look at this. Koshiguruma, but comes off the wrong way, and he manages to just maintain control. That was superb. Taking that big grip on the tricep now. Inside Kochi. And on the opposite side now. A driving Kochi Makikomi. Great sequence here. Look at this. There's that inside Kochi. And then on the opposite side, Kochi Makikomi. That inside Kochi, I mean the inside Kochi, just a little tap. That's a great technique. I mean, the entrance to this one, you would think it's like a Kosotogake, but I mean the way he picked him up, you gotta call it an uranage, no? Going across the neck like that, had some lift to it. So did this one too, look at that. Huge. Big Koshiguruma. And below did, finding it hard at 57, gets thrown by the Chinese judoka Kai. I mean, that's a superb Uchimata. Big Ouchigari coming on here, guys. And this is the last one for the middleweights. Then we're gonna have a look at some of the heavyweight action. Some newaza from Krapalik, of course, as well. But in my opinion, I think the Abu Dhabi Grand Slam, the heavyweights, they really shined. So here's Krapalik, and I mean, he's just a monster on the ground. So Spikers, I mean, he's got that grip on the belt, and what he's doing is he's trying to keep Krapalik close enough so Krapalik can't put his shin against Spiker's thigh, what he's doing here, to get his leg out. But Krapalik's so crafty to stop that and get the Osaikomi. I mean, he's so good on the ground. Here's another sequence from Krapalik. And you can just see he's such a strong guy, but I mean his technique, not the best standing, but when he gets to the ground, I mean, every step is just in the right order, picture perfect. Look at this big forearm he's got behind his back as well, just to make it that much tighter. Shrazdashvili now, and obviously he had that disappointing Hansokumake, but nice counter here. He loves that grip around the back. He loves his big Ogoshis. Still trying to do it, even after moving up a weight class. Left first right now. And this is a lovely Kochigari. Just wish the ref was not in the way. But look at this. I mean, this is the direction you want to be going if you're looking for a Kochigari. That circling in that fashion is brilliant stuff. Reyes now, and he did so well to stay upright in this position. Look, he's on one leg for a little bit, so it's really good to stay in good balance. And then the Uchimata seals the deal. He should be world champion, in my opinion, at the moment. Look at this. Gonzalez with his, I mean, he's always had a really good Taiotoshi. They said this was Wazari in the beginning, but they gave it Ippon. I mean, he had the submission anyway. Obitori Gaishi, big Obitori Gaishi. Bit of flight, bit of height. That's a big one. And this one here, Obitori Gaishi on the ground. And when I say on the ground, I mean, you know, going to your bum to roll someone over. Seeing this a lot these days. It is a good counter to a lot of things. Katagurumas, as you see here. And even Seoi Nage, people dropping down to a Seoi Nage. Getting them with an Obitori Gaishi. Good way to do things. Brilliant piece of Ashiwaza here. Look at this. Blue, he's trying to look for something, but just gets caught. We're struggling to deal with that inside grip. Left fist right now. Taking double lapels. And then the Uchimata Skashi, I mean, this is very well done. And watch what he does with his left leg, Blue. Just a little, you know, inserted on the inside. Beautiful stuff. This one here ended up being Hansokumake. So, watch the left foot of Blue. So I thought he went for a Kochigari, but it's actually Kawazu Gake or something. It's an illegal technique. Doing it on the inside of the foot like that. And here's another one, just initiating when someone has a failed technique on the return, pushes him a little bit, and on the move, a bit of Ashiwaza. A pretty Ashiharai. Well done. It was down on the scorecards too. Al Nahasia. And I mean, this didn't look good on the legs, but beautiful Ochigari. You gotta commit to this. Watch him drop down and commit as that leg goes behind. Breaking the grip off now. Big hand over the top. And that's a huge Hoshiguruma. With a little bit of a split stance as well. I mean, he was just a step ahead. Fakes the Kosoto, jumps in there for the Koshiguruma. Beautiful stuff. The Seoi Nage here, I mean, takes 2 stabs at it. I mean, watch him pull his opponent onto him the first time here. Sorry, here. And then the second time. So, I mean, took his time. I love me some Osotogari. Especially these, you know, Ippon, Seoi Nage kind of grips that they do with the Osotogari. Forward pressure. And they just waited for the opportunity. That's a good one. Big hand over the grip, gets taken over for the front Uchimata. And I mean, honestly, I don't know why people do it, but that cross grip over the back, it's not a good grip. People counter that all the time. Nice Ippon Seoi Nage here, double lapel, and just whipping his opponent around. And then when he came around, I mean, he just stopped in his tracks, jumped in there. Beka now giving Ashvili and showing us his skill on the ground in the Newaza. I do think Beka Givanashvili, he hasn't won a world championships, right? So him and Lipatiliani, I mean, those two, they definitely deserve either an Olympic gold medal or a gold at the world championships. It's kind of surprising that neither of those two have won either of those golds. Big Uchimata now from Majdov. He's got a nice Uchimata. Beka now, and when he takes that tricep grip, I mean, he likes to look for the Kosoto, but he's also got this left-sided, you know, what is it, Ogoshi? So if you put your other foot forward, he's going for the Kosoto, and if he puts that foot forward, he's going for the Ogoshi. I should do a video on Beka. He's a good judoka. And would you believe it, guys? That's it. Within 20 minutes. I can't believe I did it within 20 minutes. So, if you're here, I hope you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.